Air India Flight 171 wasn't just a flight number, it was a symbol of modern aviation, powered by the revolutionary Boeing 787 Dreamliner. This aircraft, Vermont, JIA, routinely connected New Delhi and London, offering passengers a smoother, quieter journey thanks to its advanced carbon fiber design. The Dreamliner's lighter build meant better fuel efficiency and a more comfortable cabin environment with higher humidity and larger, dimmable windows. Behind the scenes, ground crews, engineers and flight staff worked in perfect sync to prepare for each transcontinental journey. On that fateful day, passengers boarded expecting a routine flight, unaware of the storm ahead. The Dreamliner was the pride of Air India's fleet, safe, advanced and trusted. As the plane pushed back from the gate, it was just another day, another journey. No one could have imagined it would be its last. The stage was set for a flight that would change aviation history. This is the story of Dreamliner 171. June 18, 2025. New Delhi's skies were clear as Air India Flight 171 prepared for takeoff. 245 passengers and 12 crew members settled in for the 9-hour journey to London. Captain Rohan Mehta, a seasoned pilot, and First Officer Anjali Sharma, an expert on the Dreamliner, led the flight. The aircraft lifted off smoothly, climbing over the plains of India and into the mountains of Afghanistan. The cabin crew began their service as the plane cruised at 38,000 feet. Everything was routine, until a subtle flicker on a cockpit screen signaled the first hint of trouble. The pilots monitored their instruments, unaware that a chain of events was about to unfold. Passengers relaxed, oblivious to the danger brewing behind the scenes. The flight was just past halfway over Eastern Europe when the situation changed. What began as a minor alert would soon become a nightmare. It started with a small amber warning on the EICAS screen, a minor electrical fault. Captain Mehta and First Officer Sharma followed protocol, but minutes later, a critical red alert signaled a main electrical bus failure. Non-essential systems powered down, and the cockpit's automated systems struggled to compensate. Suddenly, a power surge overwhelmed the flight computers, causing the autopilot to disengage and key displays to go dark. The pilots were forced to fly manually, relying on limited standby instruments as alarms blared. The aircraft began a slow, unnoticed roll to the right, while the crew fought to diagnose the cascading failures. Disoriented and overloaded, they battled to keep control as the Dreamliner slipped further from recovery. The dream flight had become a nightmare at 38,000 feet. The Dreamliner's fly-by-wire system, designed for safety and efficiency, became its Achilles heel. The electrical failure crippled the flight control computers, sending conflicting data to the pilots and the aircraft's control surfaces. Key instruments froze or displayed false information, leaving the crew disoriented. At high altitude, with no visual reference, pilots rely on instruments. When those fail, spatial disorientation sets in. The pilots struggled with unreliable standby instruments, alarms, and a plane that was no longer responding as expected. Their corrective actions were misinterpreted by damaged systems, worsening the situation. The Dreamliner entered a graveyard spiral, a steep, descending turn that felt deceptively like level flight. Altitude and control slipped away rapidly. The forces became overwhelming, and recovery was impossible. In minutes, the fate of Flight 171 was sealed. When Flight 171 vanished from radar, air traffic controllers launched an immediate search. Military aircraft scoured the skies, while news of the missing jet spread worldwide. Families gathered at airports, desperate for answers, as Air India set up emergency hotlines. Within hours, search teams found the wreckage in a remote Polish forest, debris scattered for over a mile. Emergency crews faced a grim task, searching for survivors and recovering evidence. The devastation was total. Hopes for survivors faded quickly. Investigators secured the site, focusing on the flight data and cockpit voice recorders, the black boxes. Their recovery was crucial to understanding what happened. The world waited for answers, hoping lessons could be learned from the tragedy. The investigation was just beginning. The investigation united experts from Poland, India, and the US, all focused on the black boxes. The cockpit voice recorder revealed the pilot's confusion and desperate efforts as systems failed. The flight data recorder showed a minor generator fault, escalating into a catastrophic power surge. Investigators found a hidden manufacturing defect, a microscopic crack in a power distribution panel. This flaw triggered the electrical cascade that overwhelmed the Dreamliner's systems. Simulations proved even experienced pilots couldn't recover from such a scenario. The final report cleared the crew of blame, citing a technological failure beyond any training or checklist. The tragedy exposed a 1-in-a-million flaw with devastating consequences. The crash of Flight 171 forced immediate changes in aviation. Faulty power panels were replaced worldwide, and Boeing redesigned the Dreamliner's electrical systems. Pilot training was overhauled, adding complex failure scenarios and new emphasis on spatial disorientation. The tragedy led to safer aircraft and better prepared crews. Every lesson learned became part of aviation's DNA, making future flights safer for all. The legacy of those lost is a safer sky for generations to come. Flight 171's story is a reminder. Even the most advanced technology needs constant vigilance. From tragedy, aviation grew stronger, ensuring the mistakes of the past are never repeated.